Okay, so this is the fourth video on building a website in Flash. And what we're going to look at right now is how to get interactivity with our buttons. Now, what we notice when we view this movie, this website, and we can come on in and hit Control Test Movie, and let's actually test it in Flash Professional. Let's take a better look at this. And what we're going to find as we look at this is, I'm just going to ignore that, is that our animation is running through, and it's not stopping. So how do we get the stops, and how do we get it so that our buttons actually go where we want them to go? Well, it's actually very easy, and we're going to work with a little bit of action script. Now, also you can see I could come in and really play with this motion preset of the way that this image is coming in. I'm not too wild about what's happening, but I'll leave it like it is for right now. All right, the first thing that we want to do is we want to insert stops. Okay, so I'm going to come right to this first page, this first layer, and we're going to come into our code snippets and we're going to insert a stop right at this line. So we come to Window and we open up our code snippets, and where we're going to look at in order to make our buttons function is in the timeline navigation. So we want to open this up and we're going to say stop, double click, stop at this frame. So there we have it. We can see this is the action script that's telling Flash to stop at the screen. Now this info right up in here and that gray, you don't need it, but it's fine. We'll keep it there. All right, we'll come on back to our timeline, and we can as we come in here, we can see that we have that stop right there. We're going to do the same. We're going to come to this frame. Okay, and this is where the next one's going to stop. So we're going to insert another stop. We're going to stop at this frame, and we can see that we have the same action script inserted, and we can tell that it's inserted because we now have on our timeline, we now have a layer that's called actions. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll come to the end of this one right here, and once again, whoops, we'll double click, stop at this frame, and we have inserted our 3 stops. Now, let's take a look at our button interactivity, All right, so the first thing we need to do is we need to come into our buttons, and we need to name our buttons. Our buttons need to have names, and then once they have the names, then we can use the names to apply the action. First thing I want to do is I want to zoom on in. Oopsie. Let's zoom on in. Okay. Now I want to make sure too, when I select my button, that I'm not selecting the text, but I'm selecting my button. I come to my property and I'm going to give it a name, About. I click to my next one. I'm going to name this one Images, and this one I'm going to name Contact. I click off, I come back, I can tell this is Contact, this is Images, and this is About. Okay, I want to come back to my code snippets, and I'm going to, what I want to do is click to go to frame and play. Okay, so here goes. We're going to double click this, and then what I see is the action script, and it's saying that when About is clicked, then it will go and play frame 5. Now, what I want to do, and I can see the instructions up here, I want to replace number 5 in the code with the frame there where I want it to start. And the About page actually starts in frame 1. So I can hit frame 1, File, let's just save all. Okay, let's do our next one. So I'm gonna just click on this one right here. Okay, and I can see that there's nothing here. I have the images selected. I want to hit click, go to frame and play. All right, and it's telling me in my action scripts which I just pulled behind here, that it's telling me that this stuff, and I can get rid of this gray stuff because I don't need that. Images, where do you want it to start to play? Well, let me take a look, and I should have written this all down. I think that it is. Now you can see why you need a big screen with this. If I click right in here, I want it to play frame 39, and I can see that right down in there. Okay. All right, let's do that. So I'm going to come on in, play frame 30, 39. Okay, and let's just take one more look at our timeline. And my contact is going to start at frame 81. I can see my frame number right down there. So I want to come back into my page. Okay, I want to hit the contact. We're going to open up our code snippets. Window, code snippets. There it is. Okay, and we want to click to and go to frame, and I forget what frame it is, but we'll just add it. Frame 81, I think. I'm going to delete this. All right, and let's see if it works or not. Hopefully it does work. Save all. All right, let's preview this, and we're going to come to Control, and we want to test our movie. We'll export it, and we'll see if it works. All right, so there's our About page. Our About page stopped. I click it again, and it plays my About page. I click my Images page, it goes to my Images page. I click my Contact page, it goes to my Contact page. Now, the one mistake that I made here was I didn't extend my timeline, actually not my timeline, but my nav bar. I need to make sure that I extend my nav bar frames all the way out so I could come on in. I need to insert these frames. So insert, actually I can control click, insert frame, control click, insert frame. All right, so because I want to make sure that my nav bar is there when it's time, when the contact frame is playing too. All right, so that's that. Thanks for listening. We just went over, just a quick review, how we can work with ActionScript to put stops and to make our buttons function.